How can we get more money into SMEs and the real economy? I think one of the channels is to create public development banks that the government can mandate to do it. They obviously have to do it efficiently. But in countries like Germany, for example, we have public development banks that finance the transition to the green economy, that finance SMEs, and it works very well.
The problem we've got in the UK is we simply don't have local and regional banks compared to those other countries, USA, Germany, Japan, even Canada.
By taking local deposits and lending them only to local businesses is one of the reasons why Germany has been more successful than we are in getting out of the recession, the 2008 recession. Our banks are more inclined to suck money out of the regions. They suck money out of Manchester and Birmingham and Newcastle and Leeds and gamble with it all over the world. It will be quite a simple matter for us to take this model and apply it in our own country. The really important thing, and the thing that would be tremendously useful to us, is that they empower people in localities to solve their own problems.
When you look at regional and local banks around the world in other countries, you find that after the crisis, they tended to continue to be able to lend to small businesses and to individuals in a way that the large banks in those same countries, the large banks, cut back their lending quite dramatically.
97% of the money supply is created by banks when they give out what's called a loan. It's actually not loaning things, it's creating new money and crediting the borrower's account by making up the number, fictitious number if you want, but that's how the money supply is created. It stands to reason, if that's the system we have and the process that we have, that the banks are given some kind of rules about who gets access to this newly created money and for what transactions.
Well, the local banks are founded in the area where they are located, and because of the regional principle they have to stay there, and therefore they are only interested in developing these SMEs, because it's the only asset of these banks to survive in the future, as they cannot go to Cayman Islands or somewhere else in the world. So they are quite interested in developing these SMEs, because it means that their banking business do well.
The average amount of savings deposits in this country is £42,000 per household. There's about 400,000 households on Tyneside. If 40% of those people save that amount of money in their local savings bank, savings and enterprise banks, that would be £6 billion. That's a huge amount of money. So the government's own business bank has only got £1 billion. The Regional Growth Fund has only got £2.6 billion. £6 billion focused on one small area like Tyneside could make a hell of a difference.
I think that RBS has to be understood as a public institution that basically the taxpayers have invested in, and the taxpayers deserve to receive an ongoing flow of benefits from that investment. And so I think that RBS should turn into maybe a regionally controlled a set of regionally controlled banking institutions that link up with municipal governments and local councils of business and of community groups to essentially ensure that the banking and financial needs of each community are taken care of.